genius foods. Become smarter, happier, and more productive, while protecting your brain for life. By Max Lugavere. With Paul Grewell, MD. The Invisible Problem. Our human brain is a complex structure of millions and billions of neurons and transistors connected through neural networks with each other to enhance our cognitive ability. The reason why our ancestors were so strong and resistant to different types of bacteria and viruses was because of their active lifestyle in search of food to feed their families and provide shelter to guard them from dangerous predators all around. Unfortunately, the modern-day human has largely been crippled by technology, since he does not need to be continuously on the hunt for food, since it can easily be ordered with some swipes of fingers across a smartphone device, and it has accelerated his aging process, where most of the people get old as soon as they hit age of 40, provided they are able to survive that long. Additionally, the food we consume these days is highly processed, which means it is stripped off of its nutritional value even before it is made available for consumption. These developments have made us highly susceptible to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, which completely destroys our brain's cognitive ability. Apart from adulterated food we consume in our lifestyle, contrary to our genetic design, has also badly exposed us to other factors like inflammation, overfeeding, nutrient deficiency, toxic exposure, physical limitations or confinement, high-level stress, and most importantly loss of sleep, contributing to rapid and premature cognitive destruction. Amid all these problems, the good news is that you are still capable of reversing these annihilating changes by focusing on one key aspect, which is to change your eating habits and incorporate genius foods in your everyday life. You can begin by regularly consuming extra virgin olive oil with a spoon. It can be very effective since it consists of key natural healing properties to strengthen your immune system and protect your brain from Alzheimer's disease, instead of taking anti-inflammatory medicines as they come with serious side effects. Fantastic fats and ominous oil. Fat has a far greater impact on our lives than we generally acknowledge it. Its functions are involved in everything from our cognitive enhancement to physical well-being. It is not the quantity of fat which affects your health in either way, it is rather the type of fat you use that matters in this respect. Of these types of fats, polyunsaturated in the form of omega-3 and omega-6 are the ones which we require the most, as our body fails to produce them on its own. These essential fats are generally found in fish and seed oils. Apart from that, monounsaturated fats are quite effective for our whole body and particularly your brain. Some examples of these are avocados, beef, macadamia nuts, and extra virgin olive oil. Saturated fats too are essential, though they are considered unhealthy as they cause artery clogging. They are mostly found in dairy, meat, and coconut oil. Saturated fats become solid in the room temperature. Their negative effects can be reduced by using them in the high-heated cooking. Though the natural trans fats are very healthy, but are rarely found in our diets. On the contrary, man-made fats are found in abundance in the form of cheap oils, while they also add buttery texture to the foods. They prove deadly harmful for the health and must be avoided. Avocados are the perfect choice for your brain. They add to the processing speed of your brain. When absorbed properly, avocados prove exceptionally effective as fat and contain fiber, which makes them even more important for the diet plan. You are strongly suggested to add an avocado in your daily diet plan. Overfed, yet starving. As a food processing technology got more advanced with time, we now see more leafy greens, vegetables, fruits and whole wheat grains planted for consumption. On the contrary, our ancestors were accustomed to seasonal production of various types of essential foods and had a range of different choices considering the vast plains and dense forests they used to live in. They had access to wild fruits, different types of animals being vital source of essential nutrients and wild vegetation. However, the modern human has shrunk the sources of food through modern and advanced agricultural practices. As a result, we have abundant food sources through domestication of plants, fruits and animals, yet, they are not as beneficial as what our ancestors consumed. These foods are high in starch, carbohydrates and sugar and do not even provide us with key minerals like magnesium, which plays an essential role to have a healthy brain. That is the reason why people these days easily succumb to some of the most detrimental diseases. The kind of food they consume does not complement their natural biological functionality, as it is intoxicated and contains harmful properties capable of disrupting the function of liver, as it is overburdened with removal of toxins from the body. In the process, the brain also loses its cognitive ability, leading to premature declination process. If you want to avoid accelerated aging and short-term memory loss, you need to make blueberries an essential part of your routine diet. These berries are part of genius foods because they are highly rich in flavonoids, and if you consume them for 12 weeks, your memory will improve a lot and greatly reduce the risk of dementia. Grains and insulin consumption. We overrate the effectiveness of grains. We are told that they are essential as they contain vitamins and fiber. What we are not told is that they contain glucose as well. This further makes grains to be good source of insulin and blood sugar boosters. Insulin is very effective for body as long as it is handled well, and as insulin has a great impact on aging as well. Consuming it in excess can be harmful for the health. More than half of the population is either overweight or underweight today due to the inappropriate and unbalanced use of insulin. The excessive consumption of the food containing insulin affects the organs like eyes, heart, and brain, which are basically meant in the body to use fat as fuel. Cocoa beans are rich in magnesium. Chocolates are useful for brain's performance. They prove effective to improve the insulin sensitivity as well. Eating them once a week has statistically proven to increase the chances of health and longevity. All you must ensure is to have them in the organic form. Make sure that you do not take those which have been processed with alkali, as it decreases the essentials of cocoa. To avoid the intake of sugar, you can make your own cocoa and eat it as much as you want. Healthy heart, healthy brain. Until most recently, cholesterol was considered as the main culprit behind millions of deaths resulting from heart attacks. However, the recent concluded studies have discovered that cholesterol has nothing to do with arterial clogging of the heart. In fact, it is essential for the brain to function in a healthy way. It is basically cholesterol which largely helps us retain and memorize information and events of life. All the past findings about cholesterol were mere fluke, as it is also produced by the brain. It has been established that an average human body is capable of producing more cholesterol than it could be acquired through consumption of animal products like meat, seafood and eggs. Good and bad cholesterol is actually an oily substance, which means it can never mix with blood, which is akin to the relationship between oil and water, since they cannot mix. The function of blood is just to transport essential nutrients like protein to the brain and other parts of the body carried by cholesterol. Hence, concerns related to consumption of egg yolks have largely been discarded. In fact, regular intake of egg along with yolk is termed as highly beneficial for brain's cognitive function. It is also considered as a genius food, and it not just improves memory and learning, but also aids in decreasing the risk of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases. Also, presence of cholesterol in the brain also helps insulate melanin, which is a layer protecting the brain. People who are advised to take statins as a way to drain high cholesterol levels are highly vulnerable to melanin deficiency, which results in multiple sclerosis, an autoimmune disease which disrupts motor functions of the brain. Fueling your brain. Mitochondria work as engine in the cellular context. As our brain requires a great amount of energy to work well, its cells must be fed well. Feeding well here does not imply that they must be overloaded, rather a balanced amount of diet can ensure the function of brain cells. Ketones are the better alternatives of fuel for the brain cells, and unlike glucose-based foods, ketogenic diet promotes their longevity. Moreover, we also need to break our habit of feeding ourselves from the moment we wake up to the time we go to sleep. Fasting is good, even better than consuming the unnecessary stuff. Following the ketogenic diet plan, you actually ensure the balanced amount of calories, fat, protein, and like. Furthermore, it is not only about what to eat, but about when and how to eat as well. The meat we get to eat these days is mostly unhealthy or in many ways. It is not the organic meat based on grass feeding mainly, rather one raised unnaturally and pumped with antibiotics. Yet, you are suggested to have some meat at least regardless of all those facts if you find it hard to get the grass-fed organic one. Meat has been proven to be an inevitably essential food for brain. Avoiding its consumption is said to lead individuals to stress and mental disorders due to failure to provide the sufficient nutrition to brain cells to develop mitochondria. Go with your gut. The modern way of living is gradually sweeping away our natural defense mechanisms. For instance, presence of bacteria in our digestive system is considered as harmful for us, and that is the reason why you see plethora of antibacterial soaps being advertised on different marketing platforms. However, studies have discovered that presence of properties containing bacteria in our digestive tract is very important, as it helps empower our immune system in addition to promoting overall health benefits including a healthy brain. The microbes consisting of bacteria in our gut feed on fiber, which we consume through fiber-rich fruits and vegetables. Many people in the modern world do not like to eat fruits and vegetables as they do not find them as delicious as porcine and bovine meat products, resulting in suppressed immunity and inflammation because the bacteria in the gut are deprived of their key source of nourishment, fiber. Thus, overall bacterial functionality begins to deteriorate, causing a number of different health-related complications, where autoimmune diseases are the most common cause of mass fatalities among people around the world. It is true in fact that the modern human has a longer lifespan as compared to his ancestral counterpart, but not a longer health span. Our lifespans have indeed increased because of prompt availability of advanced medical treatment, but our way of living and eating has deteriorated our health largely as we literally drag ourselves to the finish line. Hence, our ancestors had shorter lifespans, but quality ones merely because they relied heavily on natural cues for survival. To have a healthy brain, start including dark leafy greens in your diet, which is among some of the best genius foods. They contain very low amount of sugar but rich in vitamins and minerals, especially magnesium, to optimize your health in the best possible way. Your brain's chemical switchboard. Neurotransmitters help our brain carry out the brain functions. Earlier it was thought that the mental disorders were caused due to neurotransmitter deficits. However, the latest research has found that it is caused by dysfunction of the neurotransmitters, leading to behavioral dysfunction. Research studies show that probiotics help you fight against such disorders by correcting the behavioral deficits. Furthermore, there are exercises and activities which can help one create the ideal conditions for the neurotransmitters to work more effectively. Breathing exercises, meditation, and yoga prove quite helpful in this regard. As for nutrition, fast foods having added glutamate affect the neurotransmitters. Therefore, it is suggested to avoid consuming added glutamate in the form of processed foods to keep the neurotransmitters work effectively. Instead, foods containing choline like dairy, poultry, seafood, eggs, spinach and broccoli must be made a part of regular diet to enhance the function and behavior of the neurotransmitters. Broccoli and all other cruciferous vegetables are a great source of sulforaphane, which is effective to fight against autism, obesity, cancer, autoimmunity, and brain inflammation. Young broccoli produces far more of the sulforaphane than the adult one. You are suggested to add broccoli in your daily diet plan, having it cooked as well as raw. You can grow them on your own to get the best out of them. Sacred sleep, and the hormonal helpers. Forget everything about leading a healthy lifestyle by incorporating healthy eating habits if you remain sleep deprived most of the time. The reason why appropriate sleep is important for you is because it helps rejuvenate your hormones. When you are in a deep sleep, it is time for the internal guards of your body to start repairing your entire body, especially your brain, which is vital to keep you alert and cognitively functional. As you remain sleep deprived because of excessive screen time, nocturnal eating and chronic alcoholic consumption, which aids you in sleeping but deprives you from REM, a phase when you are in very deep sleep. However, there are certain precautions you need to take to ensure you get appropriate amount of sleep to keep your brain healthy and functional, such as 1. Keeping your smartphone device out of your reach when going to bed. 2. Use your bed only for sleeping. 3. Avoid coffee or other caffeinated drinks before going to sleep. 4. Avoid eating just before sleeping as it can activate your brain. 5. Keep your room completely dark by using blinders while sleeping. 6. If possible, take lukewarm bath before going to sleep. 7. Keep the temperature of your room cool, because a human body does not like an uncomfortably warm temperature. When you sleep well, it also helps keep stress at bay because it neutralizes the production of cortisol, a chemical released by the brain when overly stressed, and this chemical in turn plays havoc with your health in general, making you susceptible to diabetes and other chronic ailments in addition to depression, bipolar disorder, Alzheimer's disease and anxiety. Apart from that, include another genius food in form of wild salmon in your regular diet, as it negates the risk of contracting cardiovascular ailments, cancer and other chronic diseases, and promotes cognitive health, which means improved memory and motor functions of your brain. Natural way to fight against stress. We are deviating from the natural ways of living with every passing day. That is one main reason for our vulnerability with respect to our brains and bodies. It is strongly suggested that we bring back some natural activities in our lives and produce the organic food in order to free ourselves of unhealthy lifestyle. We must make it our habit to perform both aerobic and anaerobic exercises on regular basis. They prove very effective against chronic cardio and enhance body and brain function. Additionally, taking low-calorie diet and fasting is also important to repair genes, burn stored fuels, and reduce oxidative stress. What you are required to eat are the vegetables and fruits with low sugar, as they help in detoxifying the cells. That is how you can ensure happiness in your life through health. Almonds prove best for brain in 3 ways. Firstly, their skin is said to have prebiotic effect. Secondly, they provide an antioxidant effect through the polyphenols they contain. Thirdly, almonds support in neuroplasticity, having vitamin E, which works as fat-soluble antioxidant. Furthermore, they contain polyunsaturated fat, which is known for its easy oxidization. That is what makes almonds and all other nuts to be preferable elements of daily diet plan. You are strongly suggested to keep a handful of nuts with you all the time so that you can enjoy them while allowing them to enhance your brain functions. The Genius Plan. Your overall diet is supposed to be a healthy mix of vegetables, proteins, fruits and carbohydrates. Although, a regular breakfast was never on our ancestors' menu, but your best choice in the morning can be a cup of sugar-free tea or coffee. Your lunch should include fresh salad along with meat. You can consume carbohydrates, but make sure that their intake remains below 75 grams per day. If you are physically active and do regular workouts, then you have more leeway than those who do not take time out for any physical mobility apart from strolling within the premises of their workplaces, which is not even equal to peanuts when considering matters related to health. Your strenuous exercise regimen allows you to consume carbohydrates in a bigger quantity, but only after a good workout session. To optimize health of your brain, you have to have a healthy mix of vegetables and fruits in your diet, such as asparagus, avocado, cabbage, cauliflower, eggplant and onions, along with organic tomatoes, spinach, bell peppers and cucumbers in your diet. Also, use extra virgin olive oil regularly, especially when having a salad as part of your daily diet. As a rule, you must have at least one big bowl of salad every day. A healthy diet will help you lose excessive fats from your body. It will increase your stamina and immunity. Drink plenty of water and reduce alcohol consumption. However, having red wine can be a good option because it is very healthy. How to cook it healthy. Cooking healthy is equally as important as choosing the healthy food. Furthermore, you need to ensure the taste so that you cannot resist yourself eating it. Here we suggest some of the tips with regard to different recipes to keep them both healthy as well as delicious. Recipe number 1. Cook cheesy scrambled eggs at low heat while ensuring to remove them a little before you feel they are done. A sifting of nutritional yeast with a pinch or two of salt can further add to its taste. Serving a sliced avocado with it is yet another great idea. Recipe number 2. Make Jamaican mee smarter on a medium heat while adding onions along. Cook them long enough to soften them. Further add some smashed garlic, ground beef, and spices including salt. Keep stirring to ensure the taste. Nutritional yeast is a good option to be added. Recipe number 3. Prepare grass-fed picadillo along onions over medium heat until they are softened. Add some smashed garlic, ground beef, and spices while ensuring to keep stirring it till they are browned. Add olives and tomato sauce and keep it on low heat for around 10 minutes to simmer. Recipe number 4. To prepare wild Alaskan salmon, make sure that you put it in the room temperature for an hour. Soften the ingredients by putting them in a blender until they are smooth. Cook it over medium heat for around 5 minutes each side. Brush it and coat it with tahini miso thinly. Serving it with turmeric, garlic, fresh spinach, and asparagus sautéed along grass-fed butter you can further add to its taste. Recipe number 5. Cook banging liver by first cleaning and chopping it roughly. Toss it for a couple of minutes after adding salt to it. Put it aside till the ghee is heated over medium to high temperature. Add and sear until it is brown all over. Further add garlic, jalapeno, and bell pepper to be cooked to soften. Reduce the heat after adding ginger, cloves, cardamom, cumin, and cinnamon. Cover it and for at least 5 minutes. Further add lime juice and scrape up the brown bits at the bottom of pan. Serve with melted ghee, lime juice, and cilantro garnish. Recipe number 6. Make buffalo chicken wings by putting them on preheated sheet and sprinkle some garlic salt. Bake them for less than an hour over a low heat. Now heat it up and bake for 45 minutes further. Take them out and put them in the butter and sauce. Toss them to be coated with the sauce. They are ready to be eaten with salad and roasted veggies. Recipe number 7. Prepare turmeric almond chicken fingers on a medium to high heat. Beat egg, add chicken, and toss it to be coated well. Mix almond flour, turmeric, pepper, and salt and put the mixture in a plate. Take the gingers out and dip them in it. Further cook them for around 5 minutes each side or until they are brown. Serve it with cheesy kale salad or sautéed greens. Recipe number 8. Cook sautéed greens over medium heat along onions until softened. Add some garlic and leave it for a couple of minutes. Reduce the heat after adding salt, pepper, and kale. Serve it with grass-fed beef, wild salmon piece, lightly fried eggs, or chicken legs. Recipe number 9. Make better brain bowl by putting sardines in bowl first. Then slice up avocado to the bowl. Squeeze some lemon over it. You can further add chipotle lime mayo as well. Recipe number 10. To prepare cheesy kale salad, first tear kale leaf into pieces to be placed in a bowl. Add some oil and vinegar to stir and massage it to leave for softening purpose. Further add green pepper, nutritional yeast, and garlic powder. Finally put some salt and toss to mix it all up. Eat it as it is or put some anchovies or grass-fed beef on top. Recipe number 11. Make brain-boosting raw chocolate by putting a cacao in a heat-proof bowl and set it on a pan for simmering. Stir it until it is melted. Add some coconut oil and milk. Further add sweetener, salt, vanilla powder, and lion's mane. Mix them up. Put some cacao powder to it until it becomes thick. Pour it in cube trays and put in freezer up to an hour. Further let them to soften for another 10 minutes. It's ready to be enjoyed. What we learned. What was the core message that we got from this book? Insulin is very effective for body as long as it is handled well. Fat has a far greater impact on our lives than we generally acknowledge it. Until most recently, cholesterol was considered as the main culprit behind millions of deaths resulting from heart attacks. The modern way of living is gradually sweeping away our natural defense mechanisms. What most of the drugs do is to increase the chemical deficiency instead of enhancing the functioning ability of the neurotransmitters. Forget everything about leading a healthy lifestyle by incorporating healthy eating habits if you remain sleep deprived most of the time. We have undoubtedly conquered through science and technology beyond what could be even imagined about a century ago. It is due to the inappropriate and unbalanced use of insulin that more than half of the population is either overweight or underweight today. It is true in fact that the modern human has a longer lifespan as compared to his ancestral counterpart, but not a longer health span. We must make it our habit to perform both aerobic and anaerobic exercises on regular basis. Cooking healthy is equally as important as choosing the healthy food.